The WNBA has evolved from a league that once struggled for recognition into a basketball powerhouse. But what sparked this transformation? In 1997, legends like Sheryl Swoopes broke barriers but barely made headlines. Fast forward to 2024, and Caitlin Clark is everywhere breaking records, shattering viewership milestones, and taking the WNBA to heights unimaginable 2 decades ago. Why does Caitlin Clark, in her rookie year, enjoy privileges Sheryl Swoopes could only dream of? Back in 1997, when the WNBA first tipped off, Sheryl Swoopes was the face of women's basketball, the first ever player signed by the league, a 3-time MVP, and an absolute powerhouse on the court. But despite her incredible success, she wasn't a household name. It's almost impossible to imagine, isn't it? Let me ask you this: what if LeBron James had been dominating the NBA, but barely anyone noticed? That's how it was for Sheryl. The infrastructure just wasn't there. The fans? They weren't exactly lined up at the gates. Kind of like playing basketball without the ball, right? You can be the best, but if no one's watching, it doesn't matter. So, what changed? Why did the early WNBA struggle to gain momentum while Caitlin Clark is breaking the internet? Pause for emphasis, stay with me, because the answer is about to blow your mind. In 2024, Caitlin Clark didn't just join the WNBA, she exploded into it. Record-breaking stats, deep threes that would make even Steph Curry proud, and electrifying the fanbase. But it wasn't just her talent, it was social media that catapulted her to superstardom. This is where things get interesting. Dwight Howard said it best: social media has changed everything. Clips of Caitlin's buzzer beaters, her interviews, they go viral in minutes. Millions of views in the blink of an eye. The WNBA saw a 3-fold increase in viewership in just 1 year, with Clark leading the charge. 2.5 million people tuned in for her playoff game, numbers that the league could only dream of in Swoopes' era. It's like Caitlin's putting up triple-doubles on the court and on Twitter. Winks at the camera. But this isn't just about Caitlin Clark. It's about the WNBA finally being seen, and let me tell you, this is just the beginning. Now, as Caitlin Clark rises, it's important to recognize the foundation that Sheryl Swoopes and other legends laid. Without Swoopes, there's no Clark. Yet, there's something bittersweet here. Sheryl Swoopes hasn't fully embraced Caitlin's stardom. It's not a rivalry, it's more like unfinished business. The real question is, will Sheryl ever pass the torch? Or will this silent tension linger as Caitlin rewrites history? That is what makes this story so powerful. I know, you didn't expect an emotional twist in a basketball story, did you? Here's the kicker: Caitlin Clark is just getting started. With fans like LeBron James and Steph Curry already bowing to her greatness, what's next? More records? More viral moments? Or maybe a new legend emerging to challenge her? Only time will tell. While Caitlin Clark is carrying the torch now, it's important to remember this path was paved by the legends who came before her. Sheryl Swoopes, Lisa Leslie, Cynthia Cooper, they built the WNBA from the ground up. Without them, there wouldn't even be a WNBA for Caitlin to shine. But here's where it gets interesting. There's still some tension between the old guard and the new era. Sheryl Swoopes herself hasn't fully embraced Caitlin's rise. It's not about jealousy, it's about legacy. How does Swoopes, a player who was the face of the league, come to terms with the fact that today's stars are getting the recognition she never did? And let's be honest, will she? Or will this divide between past and present grow wider? The future of the WNBA could hinge on whether these two eras find common ground. Maybe we'll get a little Swoopes vs. Clark showdown, huh? Last one-on-one, who you got? But here's what we know for sure: the WNBA is at a tipping point. Caitlin Clark is just the beginning of a new wave. With stars like her bringing millions of eyes to the game, it's safe to say the future of women's basketball is bright. What we're witnessing isn't just a rise in one player's career, it's the rise of an entire league. A new generation of fans, bigger viewership, bigger sponsorships, and most importantly, more recognition for the incredible athletes in the WNBA. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into how Caitlin Clark is transforming the WNBA, then you definitely don't want to miss my next video. Caitlin Clark has one privilege that Sheryl Swoopes missed out on: ex-NBA champ. Details, huge difference in WNBA eras. Click here to watch now and get an inside look into how social media has created a seismic shift in women's basketball.